Okay, today we're going to be making a quick little Valentine's, or St. Patrick's Day gnome using little socks and Dollar Tree stuff. So I'm taking a white sock that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm making a mess on my table with it. And so I just take this, and I'm going to actually go like this with it. I'm going to stick this roll of duct tape in the sock and use it as like a funnel. And I just take these wood pellets that I get these from Tractor Supply. It's like $6 for a bag of them, and you get a ton of them. Now I have these on hand because I use them for my bunny's litter box, but you can also use like rice. You can use all sorts of things. These are like the cheapest. I do have a bag of like white rice that I got from the Dollar Tree, but that's $1, and so you can totally use one bag of that. But if you make a ton of gnomes, which I don't make a ton of gnomes, but I still just use this because, like I said, I have this on hand for my bunny anyways. So all I do is I just fill this up, about 2 cups of it, I would say, depending on how big you want your gnome. You're gonna wanna like just plop this down together and just kind of put this down together. And I want a nice full gnome, so I might do a little bit more. And a funnel would work best with this too, but I don't have one. And so I'm just gonna add, depending on how big or how small you want your gnome, will depend on how much of these pellets you put in there. And you're not gonna see too much of this white sock, so you can use any sock. These come in like a 4-pack. I think you get 2 pairs, so you get 4 socks, I guess, for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And then I just twist it. I kind of just push it and shape the way I want it. And then I take this and I put a rubber band around it, like so. And then I'll cut that off, and I will hot glue it down a little bit. And then once I get it hot glued down, we'll start to add a little hat. So just cut this down. I leave about that much on it, and then I take that and I fold it down and I hot glue it down so that way it does not go anywhere. Now I don't know if my hot glue is even hot yet. I just plugged it in before. So we just put some hot glue around that. And so, oh, it's pretty hot. Okay, and then we just bring that down and we just let that sit there for a little bit. You're not gonna see this part, so it doesn't matter if it looks like that or how it looks. Okay, and so this is gonna be a St. Patrick's Day one. So I took a pack of St. Patrick's Day socks. You get 2 in a pack, and I cut the bottom off of it. So I just want the leg part. And what we're gonna do is put that on our little gnome, kind of bring it down a little bit so it kind of just hangs down. I like it to hang down on the butt a little bit more, but you're still gonna wanna have enough room here on the top because you're gonna have your little nose and everything there. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of hot glue. I'm not gonna go all the way down because we wanna add our little nose at the end, and we wanna be able to tuck that underneath our little guy. And so I'm gonna just flip it. There was a little thing in the back. And so I'm just gonna bring that over our sock the way I had it before, and just bring it down. Bring this all the way down. I don't hot glue that on yet because we also are gonna add we're also going to add our beard at the end. So once we have our beard on, I hot glue it all together, and that way it's all nice and secure. So don't really worry about how it looks right now, or as of right now. Just have it at least so you can see into it. And then I like to take, for this part, I like to use rice because the wood pellets are a little thick, and they make like the hat real chunky and it looks weird. But you can totally do it if that doesn't bother you. But I just take my little thing again, dump that in there. It's gonna make it nice and firm, so that way your hat doesn't really go anywhere. And so just take that down in there. right there, and I want it to come up a little bit more. Just push it down, get it to how you want it. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I want my hat to be a little bit more. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Sorry, my dad was down here making tons of noise if you guys didn't hear him. So we have all our rice in there. We got our little hat ready to go, and it's real nice. It's gonna be right there like that, and then we'll be able to add our little guy in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna just take a little bit of wire and wire this around there. So I'm trying to talk louder, y'all, because when I was doing my last video for YouTube, now I don't know if it's going to be on YouTube or if it's going to go on Facebook or what it's going to go on. So if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, say hey, comment down below, hit that follow button if you're not already following. You know the vibe. You know how we do it here. Float the boat if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Comment down below how you like this. Let me know if you're a gnome lover. All the things, friends. Okay, and I'm sorry about my dad. He came down here and he was just like making all the ruckus, and I'm like, seriously? Like, you literally saw that I was live, and then you come down here yet and still just make noise. Like, what in the world do you think is going on? Who do you think you are? Like, I don't think you should really be doing that. Okay, and so now that we have that done, I want to add a little nose. And so for our nose, I think we're going to go in with a little green nose. And so for noses, I personally like to use ornaments. These are from Joann Fabrics. I didn't grab them before, I forgot to, sorry friends. And so they're nice and easy, and all you do is just take it. These are nice small little guys. Take that off like that. And then I like to just cut that off actually. Cut this little, you guys see that little, like a little nub. We cut that off because we don't want that. And then we just take hot glue, put hot glue on this all around. And then we take this and we line it up where we want it. We want it like right there. We want our little thing to go over a little bit. I'm gonna kind of shove it in there, tuck it in. Like so, friends. And just hold it there. And so right now we got this cute little guy. You could use anything. You could use little cotton balls or little ping pong balls. This isn't gonna be that big of a gnome, so I don't wanna have tons of little things all over. Okay, so now that we got that on, we have to make our little arms to go on each side. So I took a piece of felt and I just cut it. These are about 7 inches by an inch. And all I do, friends, all I seriously do is go like this and I fold it in half, okay? I take a little pipe cleaner and I drop right down the middle, like that. I used white because y'all, I have white felt. Remember y'all, this is a super inexpensive DIY. I have made gnomes to sell before and I do a little bit different techniques, but this is a super easy technique to show you guys how to make a gnome using mostly Dollar Tree stuff. Like I said, y'all, you can get different little balls and stuff for the noses and stuff, but most of the supplies are from the Dollar Tree, okay? And then we're gonna just add the pipe cleaner down in the middle. And this pipe cleaner, the reason we're adding this is so that our arms are bendy, okay? Because pipe cleaners have a little bit of wire in them, and it makes them so you can like bend them and shape them and do all the things with them. And so that's what we want to do with this. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, cut that off. Yo, my dad's just upstairs making all the ruckus. Like, what does he think? It's kind of hard to film when you have a family that doesn't care about if you're filming or not, friends. And he can't use it. One day he used the excuse that he didn't know I was filming. And oh, y'all, I was just like ballistic. I was like, I'm not just down here talking to myself. He's like, well, you kind of are. And I'm like, well, there's going to be people watching me talk eventually. I was like, you just seriously hit me with the you are? No. I am down here talking to myself, but not for very long. I was like, ooh, you aggravated me then. He aggravated me then. I was like, ooh. Did you seriously just tell me that? So yeah, I'm just folding this over now onto our little guy. Just kind of covering up that little and there's a little bit of it. Y'all, I feel like this wasn't that hard last time I did this. The arms are pretty much the hardest part, okay? I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Arms are, and you don't even have to add arms, okay? Trust me, I've made tons of gnomes that I don't even add arms. I don't add legs to mine, but trust me, you don't even have to add arms, but I just think he'd be really cute if I have him holding a little shamrock later at the end. So that's why I'm making little arms for him, okay? So that's a little arm, and we're gonna cut that down once we get done, okay? So we will, because I don't think it's gonna be that long, but I like to start off long, and then if I need to get shorter, I get shorter, because y'all, you can always cut it down, you can't add to it, okay? So that's what I do with a lot of my projects, even like when I'm making a wreath, y'all, when I have my like bow tails, I always say, you can add more, but it's more of a pain in the butt, so to make it easier on yourself, just make them long, and you can always trim them, but you can't add to them. I mean, you can't add to them as easy as it is just to trim them, okay? And so if you're trying to do this on a fast scale, and so y'all, if you make these are really good projects to do for your kids. Maybe be careful with the hot glue, but I was also gonna say that these are really good like fillers if you do like a craft show. Maybe you sell wreaths like I do and swags and all the things, but you need, I like to always have a little like, I always have like a little shelf that I bring, because y'all, when I do craft shows, my shelves are always, I always have my shelves, because those are amazing when you have craft shows, because you can go up with your stuff and still have enough room. So I like to set them on a shelf with like my floral arrangements as little fillers, as little items that are still like not very expensive, but you're able to sell at your, and so I just take my little arms and I tuck them into their little thing. Like I said, these are really long right now, and we will cut them down in a second, okay? So don't worry about that, friends. And I hope my head's not in the way. I feel like my head is always just in the way, and you guys are like, okay, is he ever gonna just move his head when we're in the middle of a live? Okay, and so just let those hang there for a little bit. They're hot glued in, so they should just dry a little bit. Okay, so now we got our little nose and we got our little arms. Like I said, our arms are really long, but we will get better, okay. So what do you use for the beard? Now there's plenty of different ways you can make a beard. This is how I do it using Dollar Tree stuff. These mop heads. They have them at the Dollar Tree. Go in like the cleaning department. You don't have to buy the full mop, y'all. You can buy just the mop head. That way you don't have to walk around the store with 50 mop heads. Cause y'all, I buy tons of these when I go there. I have tons of them actually. And so I just cut them off, and y'all, you're not even gonna need a quarter of this. You may not even need an eighth of this. You're just gonna need some of it. And so I just cut a couple of them off, like that much. You can always cut more. And what I do is I just flip my little gnome upside down, and I add hot glue right along his nose all the way to his arm. So from his nose to his arm, underneath that little flap. That's why we didn't glue that whole flap down. And then we just, y'all, take our little gnomes And I'm gonna pull you guys in closer so you guys can see this, okay? I just take it and I just add it right down on that hot glue. And we're gonna do something with these things. So right now they're really long, but trust me, we'll make them a little bit shorter at the end, and I actually cut them down and I actually do something really cool with them that makes them look more like a beard, okay? Because right now it just looks like, I mean, I have done it where I kept them long like this and they are cute, but I do something with them that makes it a little bit more cuter, y'all. And be careful with the hot glue because this is really hot, friends. I actually have little hot glue fingers. I never use them though. Okay, and I actually don't think I need the hot glue for this little part right there. So just kind of get them in there, tuck them in, as many as you need. I'm gonna use my scissors to tuck them in there. Poke them down in the hot glue. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of hot glue and put it right over the top of them. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these the little flap that's left over from and tuck it right over it and just set it down on those little guys. That way the ends are covered and it looks a little bit more professional and it looks like his hat's over his beard, okay? And I made one of these one time, y'all, and people were like, well, you forgot the eyes. And I'm like, well, friends, that's what makes him a gnome. He doesn't have eyes, okay? So I don't add eyes because y'all, you don't really need. A gnome is supposed to be like his little head is getting covered. And the only thing you can see is his nose and his beard. And his mouth is covered up by his beard. So that's what makes it a little gnome, okay? So no eyes, no mouth. It's just a nose, a hat, and a beard, and arms and legs if you want to. You can make little feet. I've seen people put like little booties on theirs and all the things, y'all. I don't. Like this, I probably will not sell this particular one. If I do make them, I make them a little bit different when I do like actual craft show ones. But I'm just trying to show you guys how you can make something really cute for your house on a budget, okay? So this is gonna be another Dollar Tree DIY, I guess, in our series. So you guys got 2 for St. Patrick's Day. Y'all are lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Okay, I might cut a couple, like 2 or 3 more. And you know, there's like little cloths you can buy that they sell that you can make their beards out of. I think this is just the easiest way, and it's like one of the funnest ways to do it. And so again, just put it down in there, right down in our little beard. From his little, we go all the way from his nose to his little arms. So I need a couple more little guys. And that's why we didn't glue down before all the way, friends, is because I wanted to be able to still be able to cover up his little thing. That keeps it more secure and it looks a little bit more professional. Okay, and then now what we're gonna do, like we did on the last one, is go over it with our little hot glue and hot glue that flap shut, okay? Oh, friends, we have a little guy right here that can get put on. I'll put you down there, bud. I hope my head's not in the way of you guys. So y'all, let me know what the audio is like for this video. I'm trying to make it a little bit better. I think the audio was off on the last video, and I apologize. We're learning, y'all. We got the camera's angles better, so you guys can see. We got the audio, we're getting better. We're getting better, friends. Try not to say a lot, even though it's just my word, y'all. Sometimes it's like that. And so now what I want to do is let that side dry for a little bit, but this side should be pretty much dry. And what I do, friends, is you guys want to see how I make them? Now he's really cute like this, so you guys could totally, we need to plop him down a little bit more because we fluffed him up before, get his hat better. You can totally leave him like this. Like, how cute is that? How cute is that? It's so cute. But I like to go a little step further, and I take these. Now these are just woven together, and I take them and I untwist them. And now, don't be scared, y'all, because sometimes they're gonna unravel and some of the little strands are gonna come off of your hat. And you can always just hot glue them back on. It's no big deal. And look at, so now instead of just 1, you get 4. 4 little strands, y'all. and I think it just makes it look more like a beard. It comes a lot fuller, and so they just unravel just like anything that's tied together, and they just bring more curliness. They're just so cute, okay? And so I just go all the way around our whole gnome like that, going around. And then what I would do is you can either leave them real long like this and let them drag, which I like it for this one. I actually think I like it where it's long. But what you could do is you could just go down and cut it at whatever length you want it. Make them shorter, make them longer. You could put his things into 2 big pigtails at the bottom. That would be fun. And y'all, you can do this with any holiday. I made a Valentine's Day one, and I actually did that one with a fleece blanket, and I cut the hat out myself, and I made the hat. And so I did that on a Facebook Live. If you look up Valentine's Day gnome, I think. Not the gnome wreath one, it was just let's make a Valentine's Day gnome or something like that. I know we did that back in January, maybe even December. You'd have to go back in the Facebook video tab on Facebook and just look it up, because I don't remember. See, y'all, like I said, these are coming off. A couple of them are coming off. That's no biggie. All I do is I just take them, add a little bit of hot glue to the spot where it came off. Sometimes I even put it down a little bit more, and I just plop them in there. Not a big deal, friends. It's not no big deal, okay? And just like that, and now you don't even realize that they were even missing. Here, it's a little harder because, y'all, we don't have them down. It's right here by the nose is usually where that happens a lot, because we don't have it covered with the fleece. Little guy, because they're just hanging out underneath the nose. So I just take it. It's not really that big of an issue. Don't stress over it, and just fill it in. Hot glue is your best friend when it comes to gnome making, y'all. Let's just say. And so, like I said, you could totally leave it with those long strands if you don't want to unravel it like this. I just think it brings it another just like, it just makes it look more like a beard. That's what I personally think. You could totally do it whatever way you believe you like the most. There's no right, there's no wrong for this project. Like I said, this is totally 100% customizable. You can do any holiday, any season, any size. You could add it big, you can make it smaller. You can do a different type of beard. You can cut the fabric and just glue it on and make it like a nice fluffy plushy fabric. There's so many ways to make gnomes, and I'm sure if you look up sock gnomes on YouTube, you're gonna find a million tutorials, okay? I'm just showing you guys my way. Now, like I said, I don't know how this is. I was gonna do a TikTok with this, but I was like, it's gonna be kind of hard to explain this in under a minute, and I don't like to do parts videos, like part 1, part 2. And I was gonna do it real fast forward, but then I'm like, they're not even gonna be able to see how I do it. So I thought I'd just film it for YouTube and give it for you guys, and maybe even post it on Facebook. Sometimes I have a problem. Facebook doesn't like it when I post videos on there. Sometimes it doesn't upload, so it's kind of weird. And so if you see this on Facebook, that means Facebook was nice to me. If you don't see it on Facebook, either Facebook didn't let me do it or I never got a chance to get it on Facebook. But yeah, it's gonna for sure go on YouTube, because y'all, I'm getting more people on YouTube. We're getting subscribers by the daily, so I appreciate it. And if you have not already, go and check out. This is gonna be part of our Dollar Tree DIY series, and I started the series, and I'm gonna be doing a Dollar Tree DIY for every holiday. So far, we've already got one of the St. Patrick's Days in there. It was a floral arrangement, and I usually only do one of each holiday, but y'all gonna get 2 for this holiday. And I'll probably do another Easter one, because I did a heart wreath for Valentine's Day. I did a swag using Dollar Tree Christmas trees, but they were actually they're like Christmas trees, but they were like the iridescent ones for Easter. And then we did the floral arrangement with the other St. Patrick's, and then you're gonna get this one. So you get lucky with this one, and I'm probably gonna think of something. And then I wanna do some everyday decor in there as well, so they don't have to be all seasons. I just gotta go in there and look around and see what they got, and kind of just walk around, and as I'm going, I figure out ideas. So now we got a nice full beard, y'all. How cute is that? You can go in and change it how you want it, but I like how big his beard is. Okay, and so I might go in and just make them all even, because that will bother me. Okay, so now it's all, looks like he's keeping himself groomed and well trained. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take him, I'm gonna put his little hands together, and I'm actually going to find a little, I wanna put, so my thought was I want him to hold this thing. But I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I think it might. That, or I guess we could maybe get it to do that. Or maybe that's too big, and maybe we just go in with like a little guy like this and have him holding this. I think we might do that. But maybe we do one of these bigger ones. I got one of these bigger ones that might look a little bit more, yeah, that likes better. Okay, so we're gonna just add hot glue to this, like load it up on hot glue, friends. Do not be, when you guys are working with gnomes, like I said before, do not be scared of the hot glue, okay? Do not, so we're just adding hot glue to the bottom of this. I'm holding it with my finger, that way I don't get hot glue in my finger, because y'all, that burns. And so we're just gonna let it dry. And so for our little hat, I'll show you guys what we're gonna do with our hat. We're gonna probably make a little bow to go on him. And so y'all, I'm actually going to let that, and set that, you know, I don't know if that's gonna work. But I think what I might do is take a U floral pin and cut it down, because I don't think that's gonna stay at all. And so I'm just gonna take a U floral pin, cut it down so it's not so big, because obviously we don't want it to pop through the little felt piece, because it's not gonna fit the whole thing. And I'm just gonna put that right around it on an angle, that way it won't come through. And then I'm gonna put some E6000 glue on the tip of that, and then it won't come off at all. But E6000 takes forever to dry, and it needs to be not messed with, so I will do that once I'm off the live, and I'll put some more hot glue on it. So that's how I'm gonna just hold him for now, and have him hold the little creations. And you can always take it. Oh, that one didn't stay, y'all. Did not stay. Maybe I need to put a little hot glue on each side. So this is probably one of the harder parts too. Embellishing your design, y'all, is one of the hardest parts. And so once that dries, it's not gonna look like that right now, because right now he's like all weird. And actually that looks good like that. So his arms were pretty much, they were pretty much the same, the right length, so that's why we left it taller. And yeah, okay, so, and you guys, you could totally make these as little guys and then turn them into floral arrangements. Like you could put him in a little garden and then have him sitting on like something. So what I want to do now is I'm going to lift you guys up a little bit. So now you have a view of his hat. So right now his hat is, it's okay. I'm going to tell you it's not my favorite. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut down his hat into like little pieces. Okay. Like little strips. We're gonna kind of make a little raffia, like a little, like, I don't know what they're called. A little pom-pom type little hat. And now I have done it where I made a little pom-pom for it, But I don't want to add a pom-pom to this one. I want to just do it with his hat like this. And I'll show y'all what I did with my. And so now it's a little bit cuter. And I'm going to put something around that too. But I also want to take a little bit of lime green. I think I have lime green 1.5 inch ribbon. No, maybe not. Well, I'll take a little bit of, what color do we have? Maybe we'll just do a, we have, oh, maybe a little bit of gold. Or I don't know if I like that. Do we want a little bit of gold up there and do a little bit of a, take some of this mustardy ribbon and make a little bit of a bow. And kind of break up the I was thinking about doing a sparkly green, but I don't know if I like that. Okay, so what I want to do actually is cut myself a little piece about yay big. Yay big, so then we're going to fold that in half, friends, and we're going to make our little bow. So we're going to do this teeny little thing here, and then we're going to do a little bow. But I don't want it to be any longer than this because they're going to be our tails like that, okay? And then we're going to make it the other bow like this. This is 1.5 inch wired ribbon. Okay, that's about the same size. And then we need to do a little center loop. And then cut it about yay big. Okay, so then we're gonna take a little piece of wire. I have a piece somewhere in here. Right here's a little piece, and we're just going to take that and go around our little bow here. Trust me, y'all. Right now it doesn't look as beautiful, and I will make it beautiful in 1 second. So this is a fun project. You can embellish this any way you want. There's no right and there's no wrong way to embellish this, okay? It's basically a you do you type of design, okay? And so I do it whatever way I want, whatever I see looks good, I normally just do. And so I just made that little center loop to cover up the ugliness that we had. And we're gonna just fluff our little bow, fluff our little bow. So now we got like a little ribbon, but then for our tails we cut that other ribbon in the back, and so these are gonna go in the back, but I don't want them that big, so we're gonna actually cut them about yay big, and then we're gonna put them, we're gonna kind of squiff that together. Squiff that together. That doesn't even sound like a thing. And we're going to put that right on our little guy. So we're going to actually just center it. And we're going to take whatever was left of that little wire that we had before and pull that through. You can easily just glue a little shamrock on his little hat or something. But my hat had a little bit of glue that I could see that was dried up in the hat that I didn't want to be able to see. So we're going to cover that up. As you guys can see where it's dried right here. It's kind of weird and I don't like that color. So we're going to just take our little DIY little bow. We're going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back. And we're going to just plop it right up in there. And then just hold it there for a second or two. Get it nice and secure. Curl your ribbons a little bit. So really, y'all, you can decorate your little guy however you want. Maybe even you could take like a little bit of, I have a little bit of lime green. Or emerald green. Actually, I have lime green. I've got a little bit of this lime green Decoflex tubing. that I got from, I think this came from Dollar Tree, something. And I'm just gonna make, I'm actually not even gonna do a bow. I'm just gonna do a little piece like that, tie it around here. And then just cut it like so. And then just put that up there. And then that will kind of just help cover up that ugliness that we had over there. Just that right there. And there's our little gnome, y'all. And so he's got glitter in his thing, but that's fine. And so that's how you make a little St. Patrick's Day gnome. Oh, and then what I would do is, because this is all open back here, you're gonna just come in back here and you're just gonna cover that all up and hot glue that, because otherwise your rice might fall out, friends, and you don't want your rice or your pellets falling out. And so make sure every place is covered. And yeah, like I said, you could cut a piece of wood maybe and then plop this on there, or plop this into a little floral arrangement. If you have a little container, you could put them in there and just call it a day. I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue on these little guys. Like I said, this is not gonna get shipped anywhere, and I'm not gonna sell it, so it should be fine the way I have it. I might even just go like that and just, I hear it, and he's gonna probably just sit like that, so he might just attach right to the little beard, and that would be totally fine with me. And so you guys, I appreciate you for coming on in here and hanging out with me tonight, or this afternoon, or whatever time of the day you're watching. It's end of the afternoon, beginning of the nighttime for here, where I am filming this, but this is gonna be on YouTube, so y'all can see it anytime you want. So, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys like this. If you do like it, give me a thumbs up. If you liked and you want to keep on seeing more, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love for you to become a subscriber. We're on our way to, I think, 2,000 subscribers, if I'm not 100%, if I'm not wrong. And we do amazing videos like this. We also make wreaths. We do all different things. We do business tips for crafting businesses if you have them. All the things here, so stay around. You will not be disappointed, and I'm starting to go live on here more. And so you guys have a great night, great day, whatever time of day you're watching. Give this video a like, give it a subscribe, give me a comment down below. Follow me on YouTube or on Facebook over at MB Crafts, and TikTok at MB Crafts by Max. And I also have an Etsy shop that is MB Crafts by Max as well, and that's where I sell all my beautiful work. Have a good day, good night, have a time, whatever time of the day you're watching, and I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, so I just finished up the gnome a couple of videos ago. I didn't upload this video yet, but I was just making this little guy, and I realized that I did not like that little scruffy thing that I had on the top. I think I had that ugly looking sock rag that I kind of like cut apart and put a little piece. But what I did was I took some yarn like this, and I wrapped it around this thing of thank you cards like this way, and I kept wrapping it around. And then I took it off and I cut it, and I made this little pom-pom. And I really like this a lot better. I have that on my Valentine's Day one, my St. Patrick's one that I just made. And then I have this one, and I really love the pom-pom. It just gives it a finished look, and I really like the way it's just kind of flat on the top and it kind of hangs down. It just looks really great. So I just wanted to show you guys that I took part that, and I'm gonna have the finished product picture uploaded next. Thank you guys for watching, and I love this a lot better. Bye bye.